All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I want to give our honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rachakwadash. Say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Bahashim, Rachakwadash. And we give double honors to our apostles and our elders, which are the apostle elders, a great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai. 2024
Oh,
is the
here.
year of Jacob's trouble. Lord willing, this be the year Yahweh Yahushai redeems the elect. It sets up the kingdom of heaven, which belongs to Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Let's jump right into this. So we got the election coming up, and just looking through news stories. And the title of this is "America's Rome Coming Back: Civil Wars." Because one thing that I've seen that was the spirit had me go into was that Rome, the one thing that was the downfall of the Roman Empire was civil wars and civil unrest. So what we're at now is you have America, which is on the verge of a civil unrest situation. We'll see how everything plays out, but whatever side wins, they're not going to let the other one go off peacefully. You know, everybody's pretty much said their piece when it comes to that. You know, especially these Republicans, these far right. You know, these Bible Belters and country strong. And they pretty much have turned that slogan "Make America Great Again" into another Confederate flag. I mean, remember when Trump first ran, that was what they were tying into. But the main part is that the National Guard has been called out. I'm gonna play this video and let him go in just the story that he pulls out, and to show you that everything is the stage is set. You know, the elites want something to happen. They need chaos. So chaos is definitely it can is a possible of happening. You know, and now you have all these assassination attempts and different things where everything can lead to certain something else. All it takes is a powder keg. That's why I did that sit down, the live stream. That Babylon is a powder keg. Okay, you just need a spark, and if you spark something around explosives, it can go up at any time. So let's go ahead and play this video.
Oh, here we go. Washington has officially activated the National Guard after receiving new information and concerns regarding potential violence related to the election. Now, the governor hasn't disclosed how many troops were being activated, but said that they would be on standby from November the 4th to the 7th. And he said that based on general and specific information, I want to ensure that we are fully prepared to respond.
See, so they're already prepared. Now these are the news stories coming out. It says Americans preparing for a second civil war. That's the New Yorker. This was 15 hours ago. It says what? Did he say fight? Let's see here. Drew Miller asked me if it was July 13th and we were in rural Colorado near an outpost in what is that? Fortude Ranch and a network of surveillance retreat or survivalist retreat. And Miller has constructed in anticipation of civilization collapse. News of the attempts assassinations on Donald Trump, the first one had just pinged. A young man named Thomas Crooks had shot a Trump at a rooftop near a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, striking his right ear. Trump had stood with blood on his face and shouted to the crowd, "Fight, fight, fight." The shooter's motives were unknown, but Republicans were blaming Democrats, filing charges against Joseph R. Biden for inciting an assassination. Representative Mike Collins posted on X. Representative Majority Taylor Greene accused the evil Democrat Party of attempting murder. Miller's phone began to make the sound of a dog barking, his ringtone, as members and employees of the ranch sent texts and emails. A salesperson in Nevada was seeing a sudden increase in requests to join member interest. I'm already getting previous leads texting me. A member of Colorado wondered if it was time to mobilize. Should we do an alert? As the barking continued, I asked what Miller thought. This could stir things up. He said, after a heavy pause, things could escalate. So that sentiment is there. Okay, so they're there because this is something that the Lord is moving on these people's minds, man. It says Miller, a fit and unnerving analyst, 60 years old, was wearing a what is that? Fortitude Ranch T-shirt and had a handgun holstered on his cargo pants. He grew up in Nebraska and served an intelligence officer in the Air Force for 30 years before retiring as a colonel in 2010. He has long maintained a fixation on disaster, an unbounding type person. He told me, Salakia. He told me he could release a bioengineered virus to kill off weeds, or one promoting scientist has called human. An electromagnetic pulse attack could cause months-long blackouts. After retiring, Miller had an idea that combining the interest of readiness in such events. So he's pretty much going into being prepared. Let's see what other stories you got. Remains of nearly. No, we don't need that. It says, what will happen if Trump loses, and the threat of civil war examined. So this was 9 hours ago. It says, what will happen if Trump loses, the threat of civil war examined. Whether Donald Trump or Kamala Harris wins the U.S. election, these specialists disagree on only one thing: how catastrophic the escalation in violence will be. Civil war. This slide towards a sustained national insurgency would begin an election victory by a razor line margin, despite disputed by political leaders. And an environment fake narrative spreads rapidly. From there, even would spiral into a breakdown of order on a scale not witnessed since the American Civil War in 1980 or 1960 or 1860. Salakia. This is what could happen if the U.S. over the next 2 weeks following tomorrow's election. As American voters prepare to choose between Donald Trump or Kamala Harris after the most turbulent presidential campaign in 50 years. So we here, man. Okay, this is something you gotta be well aware of. Okay, never mind Trump loses the election. Americans' next civil war has already started. This is how it will end. Okay, so it's already pretty much here. We at a time where all these things are culminating to the next thing, because these are chess moves. Just like nations were taken down by prophecy, they didn't go down with other nations coming up against them. Going in the time of Nebuchadnezzar, the statue, that was all to show you that the Lord was dismantling and breaking nations come up and bringing down one. Let's get that one real quick. Let's see here. Let's see. Hold on. This is Psalm 75 and verse 7. It says, it is Yahweh alone who judges. He decides who will rise and who will fall. Okay? And amplify. But God, it says, but Yahweh is the judge. He putteth down one and lift up another. So he's lifting down this society and putting up another, which is the kingdom of heaven, which belongs to Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's who he's setting up currently. Okay, that's being built up. So let's go. Let's see here. Let's go to here. Let's play some of these shorts to show you that civil war was a very detrimental thing about Rome falling. Let's play this.
The Roman Republic, a once mighty power, was torn apart by a series of civil wars that marked the end of an era.
Do you know about the Roman Civil?
The Roman Republic, a once mighty power, was torn apart by a series of civil wars that marked the end of an era. The first major civil war pitted Julius Caesar against Pompey the Great. Caesar, a brilliant general and politician, crossed the Rubicon River in 49 BC, defying the Senate and marching on Rome. Caesar emerged victorious, becoming the dictator of Rome. However, his assassination in 44 BC sparked another round of civil wars. Octavian, Caesar's adopted son, and Mark Antony, one of Caesar's closest allies, fought for control control of the Roman world. Octavian ultimately prevailed, defeating Antony and Cleopatra at the Battle of Actium in 31 BC. He consolidated power and became the first Roman emperor, Augustus, ushering in a period of relative peace and prosperity known as the Pax Romana. The Roman civil wars marked a turning point in Roman history. The Republic was replaced by an empire, and the ideals of
Do you know about the Roman Civil War in 49 BC? It was a power struggle between Julius Caesar and Pompey the Great to control Rome. Think of it like a real-life Game of Thrones. Want to learn more about this historical event? Visit memorywizards.com now to play games.
Let's see here.
The mighty Rome crumbled, how did the invincible fall? Rome, once the center of the ancient world, was built on power and prestige. But by 476 AD, cracks in the empire's foundations began to show. A mix of internal corruption, economic decay, and external invasions left Rome vulnerable.
And that's what
The Visigoths
right
breached
now.
the gates in
You see
410.
the migrants coming in. You see the Democrats versus Republican, all that breakdown. All these things it takes down a society, and it's taken down it before. So it's nothing new. It's just happening again in a different version. So you got the invasion in the Babylonians, these Edomites, they call it an invasion. You said the border crisis. That's what you call in Rome. It was a border crisis. And what you have today is a border crisis. Okay?
The mighty Rome
So
crumbled,
this is
how
all
did
the
the
things that are leading up to the downfall and the breakdown of the society. So it's inevitable. I mean, it's here. It's already started.
invincible fall? Rome, once the center of the ancient world, was built on power and prestige. But by 476 AD, cracks in the empire's foundations began to show. A mix of internal corruption, economic decay, and external invasions left Rome vulnerable.
Economical decay, as you see happening with what? The economy. The dollar being devalued. Okay, you got the switching of the world reserve currency. These other nations, the BRICS being coming up to power. That's all. These are the tall tale signs of a society going down, man. This happened before. There's nothing new under the sun. So all we got to do is watch with history, especially now. This is Rome coming back again, and this name is America. Okay, it's named itself America. Okay, this is the second leg, the deadly wound that was healed. We're witnessing it now. Okay.
The Visigoths breached the gates in 410 AD, followed by the Vandals and Ostrogoths. Chaos consumed the empire as leadership faltered. Rome's mighty walls couldn't hold back the tides of time. In the end, the last emperor, Romulus Augustus, was thrown out at 11 years of age, marking the empire's dramatic collapse at hand of Germanics. Like and subscribe for
That's it on that. So let's go ahead and pull this out real quick. It says list of Rome. Now to show you how much, it says list of Rome civil wars and revolts. And it says the list of Rome civil war and revolts includes civil wars, an organized civil disorder, revolts, rebellions in ancient Roman kingdoms. Empire, the fall, it says until the fall of the Western Roman Empire, 1753 BC to 476 AD, from the Eastern Roman Empire or Byzantine Empire. That's when Jake was coming in. But Jake was already establishing themselves earlier than that. Okay. But the main thing I want to hear to show you is all the list of the civil wars that took place. Okay. All these are civil wars that happened. So to show you that Babylon is not, it's not, what does it say? It's not just special or different. It's going to go through that. So if the civil war is leaning up now and we're at the door of it, that's something that history repeating itself. Okay. So then that was a part of the downfall of the Roman Empire, because once you had that infighting and you had those, the enemies of Rome started to move in that other direction. They started to get from under the rulership, and you had a lot of these nations that were tributaries. Okay, same thing as the Israelites. Okay, the so-called, what you call the Jews in the land of Israel. Okay, they were being in the land of Jerusalem. They were being taxed. They were tributes under Roman Empire. And once that power started to dwindle, you had a lot of uprisings and a lot of different situations where Rome had to, they were spread thin. They weren't able to quell these things, okay? So I just wanted to show that quick point to show you, hey, civil war is on the horizon, and it's not a coincidence. So we got to watch this coming election. We'll see what takes place. And we'll see what Yahweh Shem Shah has in store. But hey, this place is getting ready to be judged, man. All right, truly. This is Mark, the book of Mark 3 and verse 24. And it says, and if a kingdom is divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. That's what you call a civil war. And that was a prime example with the Roman Empire. They were divided against themselves, and they weren't able to stand up. They weren't able to maintain that power. They weren't able to keep that power seat. This is Matthew's 10 and verse 21. And it reads, it says, and brother shall deliver up brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. That's what you call infighting. Okay, it says, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. That's what you call this truth. The elect are going to endure until the very end. Okay, so that's why the mentality is to just prepare. Get yourself. That's what I've been saying. That's what brothers have been saying, man. Prepare spiritually. Not, we don't got to prep. If you got some beans and soups and okay, cool. That's nothing wrong with that. But know that spiritually prepared is the main thing you need to go after. This is Matthew's 10 and verse 36. It says, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. So in that time, when it comes to especially the MOTB, you got to make a choice. Just because your people take it and so-called they trying to live, that don't make it okay for you to go after it. Okay? This is Isaiah 19 and verse 2. Read it carefully. It says, Isaiah 19 and 1. It says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, which is a chariot, which you call a so-called UFO, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother, civil war, and every one against his neighbor, against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. And that's that pomp. Okay, that's that solidarity spirit that a nation has when it's got the same goals. It says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to wizards. And the Egyptian will I give over into the hands of a cruel lord, and the fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. So this is being done now. We're witnessing the breakdown and the judgment of the Roman Empire coming back, which we know as America today. All right, so we here, man. Watch this election. We'll see what happens down the line. We'll see what Yahweh Shem Shah has in store. But just keep faith, keep prayed up, keep yourself in the zone, man. We almost home. And with that, I say call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Hakwadash. Until the next time, I say shalom and more now than ever. Keep faith.